This is like my third time trying to start this video. Child. The baby was asleep, the baby woke up, the baby ate, the baby threw up, changed the baby diaper. The baby is not sleepy and the baby is going to be in the video. So if you guys hear a little bit crying or whatever, just ignore it. Because he likes me to put all my attention on him. Right, Papa? See? 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 Okay. So anyways, I'm just going to get right into the video and get it over as quick as we can. So I'm going to be making this video about my labor and delivery. Yes. Yeah. About my labor and delivery. So to start off, like the day before, I had my 39-week appointment, and I went to my appointment, which is like an hour away from my house. Yeah. It's like an hour away from my house. So I go to my appointment and she checked and see if I was dilated. And when I tell you, it hurted so bad. And she's asking me like, if when I come next time, will I let them check me? I only have an option the next time, but all the times after that, I won't have an option. I'm like, I won't be doing that again unless I have to, because it hurted that bad. Like, it was terrible. I did not like it at all. So after she checked me, I was only dilated to 1. I was super excited, but I was just like, 1? I was just like kind of hoping it was more. I've been active my whole pregnancy, like working and things. And so dilated to 1. So after my appointment, since I live so far from the office, I go to my aunt's house and I would spend the day over there and then like go home later. So after my appointment, I call my aunt. I'm like, I'm dilated to 1. It's time to start walking. I call my mom because she lives in Vegas and she wants to update so she can have enough time to get here. So I call my mom. I'm like, I'm dilated to 1. And so she laughing at me like, girl, you about to be dilated to 1 for a minute. Like, that's not nothing. You gonna be dilated to 1 forever. So I'm like, no, mom, I'm about to start walking today and I'm gonna have this baby. So I go to my aunt's, we get ready, we go to this track and we start walking. And I think 1 lap around is 1 mile. So we walked around like 2.5 times. By the last time, y'all, my back was on fire. Like, I'm like, that's it. Like, I pushed myself to the limit. Like, my back was hurting so much. I was cramping. I was just very uncomfortable. So left the track. I went to my aunt's house, played the game with my cousin. I'm so lame, y'all. Like, I love playing Call of Duty 2. I think it's 2 or 3, like the zombies. I don't like the new ones. I don't know. Back to the story anyways. So I played the game with my cousin, and then it's like 12 a.m. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go home now. Still live an hour away. So I get in my car to go home, and I had like kind of just got on the freeway and I smell these fumes. I'm like, what's that smell? I never pay attention to like my dashboard or nothing. Like, I get my car and I go. Like, if it's something wrong with it, it would be driving like a different way, like for me to know. Like, I never look at the dashboard. But this certain time, I decided to look at the dashboard and my engine light was on. And plus, like I said, I was smelling some fumes or whatever. So I'm like, what? No way. No way. No way my engine light is on. Like, when I tell y'all, I just wanted to go home. I wanted to take a shower and I wanted to get in my bed and go to sleep. That's it. My back was on fire. Like, I was very uncomfortable. Like, I don't have a good day. Like, if I don't have a shower, like, I can just have a shower and it'll make my mood go up. So, for the simple fact that I just went running and then I've been out all day, like, I just wanted to go home and take a shower and, like, go to sleep in my bed. So, I pulled over and I didn't know how to turn my hazards on. This is like a new car that I just got. Like, I just got this car. So, I didn't know where the hazards were. Could not find them anywhere. I'm searching for them. And I'm just on the side of the freeway, pulled over with this engine light on. So I tried unstarting the car and then starting the car back up. It didn't work. The engine light was still on. And at this point, I'm not even really caring about like smelling the fumes. I don't even know if I was still smelling the fumes. At this point, I am just like worried about the fact that the engine light was on. So I call my aunt and I'm just so annoyed. I'm like, Auntie, like, I'm on the freeway. I just kind of got on the freeway. My engine light is on. I smell some fumes and I don't know how to turn my hazards on. So she's trying to help me figure it out. She helped me figure out how to turn the hazards on. She was like, you should just come back to my house and spend the night here, and we can figure out, we can take your car to go get fixed or looked at in the morning. Bet. So I was so annoyed, you guys, to be turning around. Not because of anything, but the simple fact that I wanted to just be in my own home at that time. So I was just like 39 weeks pregnant, you know. So I go back to my aunt's house. I took a shower. I played the game with my cousin again. At this time, it's just me and my cousin up. Everybody else in the house is asleep. So I played the game with my cousin again. Then I was just like, you know what? I'm tired. It's like 1, almost 2 a.m. I'm tired. I'm about to go to sleep. He's like, all right. He's like 9, 10, or 11. One of them. So I lay down to go to sleep, and y'all, my stomach is cramping. Like, it's going. So I'm like, I'm so tired. Like, and one thing that I was praying for, like when I went into labor, I was praying that I was well rested. Like, I did not want to be tired. And then this day I've been up all morning, all day. It's like 2 a.m. and I'm just now trying to go to sleep. Mind you, I'm pregnant. Like, pregnant people need sleep. And so I'm exhausted and my stomach is hurting and I cannot go to sleep. And so I'm just on my phone. I'm just scrolling through the little social medias, just scrolling through, and the cramping got worse. And I'm just like, what if these are contractions? And I kind of got like excited for like a split second, and then it's just like, okay, but this hurt. So I'm just, at this point, I couldn't lay down anymore. I couldn't even just focus on scrolling through the social medias. I'm sitting up and I'm rocking, y'all. Like, okay, this is hurting. This is hurting bad. So my cousin, he comes in and he was like, are you okay, Jazz? And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay. My stomach just hurting, my back hurting. I can't lay down, but I'm so tired. And so he was like, okay, if you need anything, just let me know. So at this point, the cramping is like, it's bad. Like, I'm like, these gotta be contractions. So I then went and downloaded this contraction counting app or whatever. So when I felt the pain, I would push the button, and then when it stopped, I pushed the button again to stop it. So this is telling me how far along they are, how long they're lasting, and all of that. And so if y'all hearing this noise, it's literally the baby sucking on my hand, because he loves sucking on things. Anywho, so I'm like, oh my gosh, like, is this a real thing? So at this point, the contractions is they there, like they there. So I'm rocking and damn near crying at this point. So my cousin comes back in. He like, you sure you're okay, Jazz? Cause like, you crying now. And I'm like, yeah, I'm okay, through the tears. And he was like, you want some water or something? Like, and I'm like, yeah, can you give me some water? So he goes and gives me some water. He's standing by the bed. He was like, you want me to rub your back or something? I'm like, yeah, can you please just rub my back? Like, please, like, this just hurt. So it's really bad at this point. Like, I'm crying, I'm rocking, he rubbing my back, I'm drinking his water. Like, I'm just trying anything to, like, and then on the app, it's telling me, like, you need to go to the hospital. So, but I knew that when I didn't know how I was going to go in labor. This is a side note. Like, I didn't know how I was going to go in labor. I didn't know if it was going to be like my water breaking. I didn't know if it was going to be like contractions. Like, I didn't know if I was going to have to get induced. Like, I didn't know what. And so, literally, this is my 39-week day. Like, it's like 2 a.m. so I guess I'm 39 weeks in a day. And so, boom, I am going through hell at this point, and I knew I wanted to wait as long as possible before I went to the hospital. To just take the pain as long as I could before I went to the hospital. First, because it's corona. Second, because I just did not want to be in the hospital for that long. I don't really like hospitals. I did not want to be sitting in the hospital all day in pain. I would have rather be in my own space, in my own comfort, going through the pain than in the hospital. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna deal with these contractions as long as I can, and then I might wake somebody up and just like, okay, I'm dying. So at this point, I have been calling the father, not answering, and not answering no messages. And I knew his phone was like dead, cut off dead, because the messages were just going to read. So I'm like, wow. So I just called his mom, and I was just like updating her on what was going on. And so she actually came and got me, and she took me to the hospital. And so we at the hospital, like, when I'm telling y'all, like, that was the longest 30-minute drive ever to the hospital. Like, I'm like, are we there yet? Like, it was not good at all. Like, I was just in so much pain. I just wanted it to be over, like, over. So I'm just at here with it, and I'm like, okay, can this baby come out of me? So I am going through that, and so we finally get to the hospital. They checking me in. Everybody in the lobby just staring at me, crying in the wheelchair. And so she's asking me all these questions through my contractions, guys. When I tell you, these contractions, they are no joke. And my contractions is all in my back. So it was just like, every time a contraction came, it just felt like I was never going to make it through. Like, every time I just was like, yeah, I'm dead. I'm dying. Like, I'm not going to make it to the next one. Like, it was terrible. And I have clothes on, guys. I have a little sports bra. So it was terrible. Like, I'm like, this is my death. This is how I'm dying. This is it. And so she gets me checked in. They taking forever to come in and get me dilated, and like to check and see how much I was dilated or whatever. She came in. Mind you, it hurt so bad when they check. So this is still hurting so bad when she's checking. She goes, "You're only dilated to 2. Papa, 2? 2, y'all." So I'm like, 2? I was like, oh no, I don't do these contractions. So where the epidural at? Like, I'm gonna need something. Like, she seen how close my contractions was. She seen how much pain I was in. And she goes, "You're dilated too. We're gonna send you home." Send me home with this pain. Home. I'm like, ain't no way I can go home like this. Like, y'all can't give me nothing, like epidural to go, like something. So she like, I'm gonna talk to the doctor, see what we can do, and then you could just come back like when you feel like you're farther along dilated or whatever. So I'm like, this is it. Like, it's gonna get worse than this. So they gave me an Ambien. So y'all know what an Ambien is? It's like a pill to help you sleep. And she was like, it's not gonna take away your pain, but it's gonna help you to just like kind of sleep through it, so you can actually get some rest. Because I was like so tired, mind you, I was so sleepy. So that's why I was just like telling her, like, outside of the pain, like, I'm just so sleepy and I cannot go to sleep because this junk hurts so bad. Like, can y'all give me something? So the Ambien. So she gave me this Ambien, child. And in my head, I'm like, y'all need to give me something strong, because I can't see myself sleeping through these contractions. My contractions is like every 2 minutes. So I'm like, yeah, no, no. So she gave me the Ambien, and I took the Ambien, and I went home. Well, went back to my aunt's, because I live an hour away. There was no way I was going back home. So my aunt's, which is 30 minutes away. So I go there, and I went back to my child's father's mom dropped me back off to my aunt's. And I'm telling my mom about like what's going on and stuff like that. So she's like really frantic. First off, Vegas is like a 30-hour drive, And then the flights, they didn't have, this is like 3 a.m. So they didn't have like another flight till like 7 or 8 a.m. So my mom like, bruh, like, how am I gonna, and I think it's like a 4-hour or more flight to where I am, to Michigan. So it was just like, she like, I might as well just like leave out now, get in the car and leave out now. So she's frantic and she's like, oh my gosh, I need to get there. So she ended up just deciding to get in the car and start driving. And so yeah, Vegas is like a 30-hour drive. So, but then the flight wasn't until like 8 a.m. her time. They're 3 hours behind. So it was like maybe 11 o'clock there. So it was a lot of time before she could get on the flight. Yeah. So boom. So she gets in the car and she's on her way, and I'm just updating her as we go. So I'm at the house off this Ambien, and my aunt and my cousin is there, my older cousin at this point, a girl. And so she's rubbing my contractions through. When I tell y'all, this Ambien, that Ambien did it for me. Like, even though I was waking up every contraction. Oh, you okay, Pop? You okay? You okay? Put your arms up. Put your arms up. Oh no. Whoa, Papa. And so this Ambien had me down. Like, it put me down. It put me all the way down. Like, I was knocked out. Like, I couldn't believe, but I was waking up and it was like I was in a daze, waking up every 2 minutes, I guess, for the contraction. They was like, you woke up every contraction, but it was just like I was feeling so drugged, and I felt like I was getting like the best sleep ever until a contraction came. I feel like I was getting so much sleep in between the contractions, but I really wasn't. So that Ambien worked until like, I don't know, maybe like 7 a.m. I don't know. So I woke up because contractions were overpowering the Ambien, and I could no longer go back to sleep. So I'm up like, whew, these contractions are too much. Like, child, like I need to try something else. So my aunt and my mother-in-law, they ran me some bath water, and then so I got in the bathtub, and when I tell y'all, that really helped. Like, getting in the tub with that warm water, like, that helped. That significantly helped the contractions. Like, my next birth, I want to have a home birth in the tub, because that helped so freaking much. Like, it helped so much. And so I'm just in the tub, I'm relaxing, and they were like, well, you think it's time that you just go back to the hospital, because you know these contractions are getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And so I'm like, yeah, I probably should. So I get out the tub, they drive me back to the hospital. Meanwhile, like, these contractions is kicking the hell out of me. Like, they bringing death. Like, they trying to kill me. And so I'm going through these contractions as I'm on my way back to the hospital. And I get in there, and they finally admitted me to a room. And so they admitted me to a room, and I get in the room, check if I was dilated. I was dilated to 5. I was dilated to 5, guys. And I was like, yes. I felt like these contractions feel like I'm at 5. I knew it was some progress. So I'm at 5, and I'm feeling the contractions. So I'm like, okay, where the epidural at though? Like, where's the epidural at? Like, I need the epidural now. Mind you, it's corona and everything. So I'm hollering like, where's the epidural at? She like, oh, you can't get the epidural until we get some blood work back, until we take the corona test and something else. And I was just like, what? And I was like, how long is this stuff gonna take? And she goes like 30 minutes to an hour. And I was like, yeah, I can't take 5 more minutes of these contractions. Like, I'm gonna be dead. I was like, is there any way that you can give me the epidural right now? Like, I just had blood work. She's like, okay, we can just use the blood work that you had your last appointment? And then she was like, I was like, okay, so can we do it? And I was like, I don't want to do the corona test. I seen the videos of that corona test, them sticking that thing up your nose. And she's like, well, you have to have it. So I'm like, oh my gosh, fine, just come on. She's like, and it's, whoever it was, I don't want to be wrong, was outside the door to give me my epidural as soon as I took my corona test. Mind you, this is the middle of a contraction, and she is sticking this thing up my nose, trying to touch my damn brain. And I'm pulling her hand like, wait a minute now. Like, that hurt, and my motherfucking contraction hurt. So she's doing that, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, when she put it out, like, my nose is bleeding. That's how far up she went. And she got the results back. It was negative. He comes in to do the... I forgot to tell you guys, fast back, when I finally reached the hospital, when I finally got to the hospital with, I'm gonna just say Jay, with Jay's mom, which is Papa's father. So when I finally got to the hospital with Jay's mom, he ended up calling, like, oh my gosh, like, is she having a baby? Like, you know, we ended up getting a hold to one of his friends. They went and got him, da-da-da-da. He's like, my phone was there, da-da-da. So the first time that I went to the hospital before they sent me back home, he had met me there. So then he came here to home to fix up the house and, like, fix up Josiah's room because it was not put together. The crib wasn't put together. Absolutely nothing was, like, really put together in his room. Nothing. So he came here while I had to get sent back home to just deal with the contractions. He came here to put the house together for the baby to come home. And so then I'm gonna cut this part out because my eyes itching. I don't know, I'm like, so then once I got back to the hospital for the second time, Jay met me there, and he was helping me through the contractions and stuff. Like, after I got the epidural, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I was cooling out. Like, I was just like, how quick is this gonna work? But it worked quick. And it don't feel good getting the epidural, but it doesn't feel worse than the contractions. I'm gonna just tell you that. I did feel something in my back, but you can't move. And then it was in the middle of contractions, so it's like, do you want to keep feeling the contractions, or do you want to just go through this minimal pain to get it over with? So of course I'm like, I'm just gonna go through this little pain. And so after what are you doing, Papa? After I got my epidural, I was chilled out, just chilling in the room. They haven't checked me for a long time. I guess the baby wasn't, she kept saying that the baby, first off, he was really active in my stomach the entire time. And she kept saying that, like, he wasn't giving them good movements, like how they wanted. And so she kept having me get to these different positions to give more movements for the baby, or get his heartbeat. I don't know what it was, but they weren't getting the results they wanted from the baby. So she kept putting me in these different positions and everything to see if that would make him wake up or change whatever he was doing. And I had got on, it was this one position where I got on, like, my hands and my knees, and I'm having my stomach on this ball or this pillow or whatever on the bed. And every position is, like, a little bit hard because I was on the epidural, so everything feels so weak. Like, my legs was feeling so weak, so I needed so much help. So on my legs, on my hands and my knees, and I'm just bent over at this position, and I couldn't stay there for long because when I tell you, like, first I felt like I had to poop, and then my back, like, my back instantly started hurting, like, from the top all the way down. Like, I felt it all the way down to my feet. And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm dying. Papa. Okay. I'm sorry, just 1 second. 1 second. 1 second for me to fix myself. So I'm not like in that position. Like it felt like I was just near death. Like I was dying. Like I felt like that was it for me. Like my back, I was like, oh my gosh, I should have never got this epidural. Like I'm dying. I don't know what that feeling was, but like on top of me feel like I had to poop, it was like my back was hurting so bad. So I was like, Jay, can you come here? I was like so calm and I was like, yep, this is just it. Like my back hurts so bad, like I feel like I'm dying. So then he's like, no, we could just call the doctors in and see how far along you dilated. And he was so supportive. Jay was so supportive, like through the entire process, like rubbing my back and like I didn't think that he was gonna be able to deal with like the actual like disgusting things, but he did a very good job. And so I'm like dying, and so she comes in and she checks and see how far along I was dilated, and they said I was fully dilated. Excuse me. They said I was fully dilated, and she goes, well, when you feel another contraction, you can push. So mind you, I be watching movies and stuff, and I'm thinking, so when it's time to push, they gonna put my feet in like these little stirrups or whatever. No. So the doctor's holding one of my legs, and I think Jay was holding one of my legs, and then no stirrups. So I was like, okay. So she goes like to put your chin to your chest and push. Mind you, I can't really feel down there because I got this epidural. I can only feel like pressure a little bit. So I'm pushing, and I'm like, ugh, I feel like I was just pushing forever. They'll be like, okay, that was good, but like hold it for longer last time. I was pushing for 35 or 45 minutes. And they said that was really good for my first child. So I was like, okay, but I still feel like I was pushing forever. So I'm pushing, and then it was like, we see here, and I'm like, do y'all? Because I don't feel like anything is changing. I feel like as soon, okay, so while I'm pushing, I guess the baby's heartbeat kept going down. So like they keep telling me that the baby is in distress and that I need to make sure that I am breathing and stuff like that. And so they kept moving me around as I was pushing, honestly. So I'm on my side at this point pushing with one of my legs being held up in the air. I'm on my side pushing, and they said to keep it like that because they're trying to get the baby's heartbeat or whatever, and they couldn't find it, I guess. So they had to attach something to his head to track his heartbeat, which kept dropping when I was pushing. And so then his head finally came out. And when I tell you, after the head came out, like everything else just came out. It was such a relief. But come to, like, I didn't know, but the reason that his heart kept dropping is because the cord was wrapped around his neck twice. Mind you, his head is getting like on top of the cord being wrapped around his neck twice. Like I'm pushing and it's just like just his head hanging out and he's being choked. And so, anyways, it was a great experience. Like I was so happy when they gave me my baby and put my baby in my chest. I was so happy. And I was holding him and I was just looking at him. He was so quiet and calm. And he didn't even cry. I don't know if that was because the cord was wrapped around his neck or what. But he was just looking around and things. And I was so happy to have my baby. I hope I don't have anything on my lips. So I was so happy to have my baby, and they just gave him to me and laid him on me with all that nasty stuff on him. And then after they had took him to the little table over there, they had made him cry. And I was like, I'm so dirty. Like, can I wash my hands? Can I get in the shower? This is the first thing that I was saying as soon as I like got done having him. I was just like, I feel so dirty. Like, I just want to get in the shower. And I thought I was gonna have to push the placenta out too, but I didn't have to. They, I guess, just pulled it out or whatever. I asked, I was like, well, I have to push the placenta out. They were like, no. They were just like pushing down on my stomach until like it kind of came out. And then when they gave me back my baby, I did the skin to scan again, and I actually started feeding him, and he latched on great. That'll be another video on like the breastfeeding. I still breastfeed, only breastfeed, no bottles. It is a lot of dedication, but I wouldn't rather any other way. I'm so glad that he was able to latch and that he's able to have this option and is very healthy for him. Y'all, he's 2 months and he's 15 pounds. So just think about that. He's the average weight of a 4 or 5 month old baby. Anywho, those are another videos. And see you guys later. I'm so happy I finally got through this video. I promise you guys, somebody who want to make me an intro, just comment down below because I do need an intro. And any other videos that you guys want to know about or hear about, just put it down below. Put it down below. And y'all, I just got this tattoo and it looks absolutely disgusting because it's healing. But yeah. See you guys later. I love all of you, and if y'all have any questions, comment. I absolutely want you guys to subscribe and like. Give me any feedback on things. I hope I was loud enough throughout the video. Sorry for the appearance. Like, I literally just had to slip this video in, especially because he's been up. For right now, he's actually pretty content. He's just literally just sitting here. And I think he's only sitting here and content because I'm talking. And he's probably assuming I'm talking to him. But, like, he wants all of my attention all the time. But you guys, I love being a mom. I love it so much. Like, I do. I love it. Even waking up in the middle of the night. Not getting sleep because he wants to be up. Times that he's fussy, I still love it. I love it. And I love my baby so much. All right, see you guys later on the next video. If you guys want to see different content from me, comment down below. I actually want to tell you guys that I want to start doing like some clean with me videos. If y'all don't know what it is, look it up. Look it up on YouTube. I know I love watching those videos. All right, see you guys later.